Welcome to PAM Eastcoast LA. I am your host, Pamela Galas, and today I have the beautiful Emma Hunter. She's a rock star, and her partner, Tom Bruce.
Partner in crime.
Yeah.
And crime, yes, that's what I meant to say, not partner, right? Just in crime.
Right.
Right, okay. Like, you are in separate homes right now, right? So maybe in crime, yeah. So well, I don't know these days. Maybe you guys have a wonderful relationship. You need your space. I don't know, babe. Like, you never know, right? So how'd you guys meet?
So before we found each other, just to gross him out. I was looking for a drummer, and we had a mutual friend who I just sort of happened to say, "Oh, do you know any good drummers? Because I need someone that can do quite complicated stuff and work with a looper." And he was like, "Actually, I do." So then we were sort of introduced to each other, had a band practice together, and we really didn't know each other. And then we were like, "Should we give it a go?" And then we were like, "Yeah, right." And that wasn't like, in the grand scheme of things, that was like, what, 3 years ago?
Okay.
Was it 3 years ago?
So. Yeah. I reckon 2019, or maybe even 2019, very start 2019. So that wasn't that long ago at all.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
We had
3 years.
And then the world exploded. So, yeah.
So you guys met right before pandemic hit?
Yeah, we had like a year.
Like a year before.
Right, because it was in 2020 when it hit. So you guys had 1 year of being normal, and then you guys had to wear masks when you sang?
When we did, yeah.
Yeah.
So how was that like? How'd you guys keep going with the whole pandemic and everything? Did you guys just work from home and just dish out album? Or I know you have an album now, but we'll talk about that. But like songs just on YouTube and iTunes and all that?
We did like a couple of like live stream gigs, but we didn't do very much like live stuff at all. We mainly just went into the studio and recorded. I think that's what we kind of focused on.
Yeah.
So during the pandemic, this is how you guys came up with your CD Bandcamp, right?
So it's on Bandcamp. We've got an EP called Here I Go, and that was that's our most recent release. This is a Lego pen, by the way, everyone. Like,
okay.
How cool, made of Lego.
Is that real?
Yeah, it's like literally got like made of Lego. Anyway,
she's like, all right, let me go back to Bandcamp. Let me show you this really cool pen real quick.
Yeah, so the EP is called Here I Go, and that's what we released sort of kind of October. Well, it was released in August, but then we kind of ended up having like a launch gig in October, and then another one in August because we were greedy. So we were able to kind of really work on recording that because like in the UK that you just couldn't do any live gigs at all. Right. So we were, let's work within what we were allowed to do, which is basically go to the studio and then do weird music videos outside or like with a really small group of people. So that's what we did.
So you guys,
lockdown baby. You
guys are in the UK right now then?
Yeah.
And this is where you guys are born and raised?
Born and raised.
That's awesome. I've been to London. It's a great place. It's very I was told that New York stems off London, the lifestyle and the culture. Do you agree?
Yeah.
I've never been to New York, but
oh, okay.
See how it is.
Well, you have to come one day, babe.
Oh yeah, it's on my list.
You have to. When you guys are touring, I mean, this is going to be the place. This is where everybody's going to love you first.
We would love that. Yes, please.
Yes. Yes, please.
No, I love New York. I went there when I was quite pregnant, actually, and I was like, last moment of like being able to do stuff. And I went to go and see the Punch Drunk show a lot, called Sleep No More. And I saw Hooray for the Riff Raff in a synagogue and loved it. It's an amazing place. And there are real similarities between London and New York, definitely.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I love London. I feel like London is more clean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like your train, your subway, for example. You guys have no garbage cans and it's clean. There's nobody throws trash.
No,
And if
it's
you see somebody eating, they put it in their bag. It's incredible.
you know, I never thought of that. The reason why they don't have bins on the tube is because they're worried that people will put bombs in them. Like literally, that's why you're not allowed them on the underground.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's I mean
wow.
that's
Tom, you didn't know that?
Oh no, I didn't know.
Let's talk about grape drink, purple drink hour. What do we have today, Emma and Tom?
So, you know what? I've just shall I go and get my really fancy bottle?
Yes, I really want you to go get your fancy bottle.
Da, 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 da.
Needs an introduction. It's
Yeah.
like
This is the rose gin, and it's by Tincture. And right, this is the best bit. Are we ready? Are we ready? Right, this is refill.
I'm ready.
She says, "Hang on." All right. So then that thing comes off here,
Yeah.
and then stopper. Ooh. So then you can refill it.
That's a fancy bottle.
It's a fancy bottle,
I
although
like that bottle, and you can refill it.
there we go. Yeah.
If it's made out of wood, it'd probably even be better.
Yeah.
You ever have the barrel wood, like when they make it out of wine or beer or something?
Yes.
And they fill it, and it gets fused with whatever alcohol, the fusion of it. Oh my God! So I like your bottle, but do you like your bottle or do you like my bottle better? This is Desire.
That is the best bottle, like of any bottle ever.
Thank you.
I like Pam's bottle.
Thank you, Tom. No, it's a great bottle. I've had it for years. This is Desire. She's a full woman. She's cognac. She's a dark lady, And yeah, I've had it for years. She has a nice little dress and a nice little necklace, pearl necklace, and a nice little hat to go with it. So, Tom, do you have a cool bottle?
No, I left it downstairs, and it's not very cool. It's just like a plain glass bottle. But what was in it? It was there's some homemade sloe gin. So I don't know if you get sloes in the US. They're just little berries you find in the hedgerows.
Oh, I love
And then
that.
in the autumn when you pick them off, I didn't make it, so I've got it off a friend.
It's okay.
You
Good to have friends.
you put it in a bottle of gin with a load of sugar, leave it.
I didn't know how to hook up this system. I have friends. I don't know how to do anything. I don't know how to write. That's why I have my best friend Maria writing. I don't do anything. I just talk. Yasas, guys. Sini Yasu. You probably know that, Emma, right?
Ew.
Mhm.
Parakalo.
Efkaristo parakalo.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And at the end of the show, I always say sagapao. And sagapao in Greek means I love you.
Oh, yes,
Oh.
it's coming back. It's all coming back. When I was a kid, my mum and dad are like totally obsessed with Greece. And so we used to go there like every summer for a holiday. And I really think that had like a massive influence on my love of like that kind of sort of minor key music. And obviously, like as a kid, I had no idea that of what I was like listening to. But I really feel like all of the Greek music, the traditional music that I heard as a child, like kind of really sort of sunk into me somehow.
The bouzouki, like the bouzoukia, like the with the guitar, like a like it's a 12-string guitar. It kind of looks like this. This is my little bouzouki. It's a toy bouzouki, but this is the idea. But this is the small version. But the big version is this is the bouzouki, and it's 12 strings. It's very, very hard to play. But if you know how to play this, you know how to make Greek music. Let me tell you. This is my mama gave me this, so I decided to put it on the podcast, just to show a little bit of my culture. And then of course, everybody knows me by my red lips because I'll give people a kiss on the cheek and I'll leave a little red kiss. So red kisses is kind of like my trademark. So everything red kisses and bouzouki and guitars. So Yeah, Emma, I love that you play the guitar. I love ladies that play the guitar and play the drums. Is that your only instrument that you play with?
Me,
Yeah.
so I was originally a pianist, um,
Okay.
and I played the clarinet, which is slightly yes. I've not touched a clarinet for a very long time, and then I kind of got really fed up of my instrument being really unportable, and I don't really
Yeah.
like keyboard sounds. I love synths, but kind of really kind of wanted to experiment more with sort of guitars and the kind of music that I loved. So I just kind of learnt that sort of when I was in my early 20s, because I started learning the piano when I was about 4. Um, so yeah, and then that's kind of been my thing, and then I got into the looper. Yeah, but as Tom knows, I can't really play the drums at all, can I, Tom?
To be honest, I don't think I've heard you try. Have I heard you try? I can't. If I have, I've wiped it from my memory. It was that bad. But,
Yeah, I wouldn't do it in front of you, I don't
speaking
think.
of,
I once had to play the drums for someone when a drummer at a gig was like, "Oh, I've got to go. Can you just do?" And I was like, "Oh my god, what?" So I can do the most basic beat on the drum. But I mean, if I do like loops, I used to use like a floor tom, but I'd have to layer it. Um, so yeah, I'm all about the kind of melodic tonal instruments, and then I do really weird like Muppet noises to Tom to say, "Oh, can you kind of go ba da diga ba da da ba ba," and he's able to interpret what I mean.
somehow.
I'm gonna spit that out right now. I was like, I'm like trying to enjoy the gin and tonic. Have you guys been able to do live shows now that it kind of opened up?
Yeah, yeah, and like in England, there was like a break in lockdowns, and so we did like the most odd gig in London when everyone was still really frightened of being in public.
Right?
So like everyone was wearing masks, and it kind of was a bit weird, but yeah, kind of so in between lockdowns we did a gig, which is quite good because then it meant that we didn't completely forget what we were doing. And then we did the first gig in Oxford when everything opened again.
Okay.
um we played the first gig back, which was really nice and kind of like really terrifying as well, because it's that whole like, oh, what do you do again? um but yeah, so then we were kind of back to sort of gigging. And we've had a little break for the past couple of months because Tom's got a bionic hand.
Got my wrist.
Yeah, so Tom's just had surgery on his wrist. He broke his
Yeah,
wrist,
babe?
so
You said,
yeah.
oh my God. Oh, are you all right?
I am now. Yeah, yeah, on the
Okay.
mend.
Was that because of playing the drums?
No, it was.
Okay. I was
I
like,
just felt
what
really bad.
happened? I was like, why did you get started on the drums?
I actually tell you the truth. I learned the piano as my first instrument as well,
Okay.
and I wanted to learn the guitar, but my mum wouldn't let me. But for some reason, she let me play the drums.
Yeah.
We go.
Okay. Cool, mom. All right. Why was she against the guitar?
You know what? I have no idea because she is a music teacher. I come from like a very musical family,
Hmm.
and I don't really know why she didn't want me to play the guitar. But as soon as
Worried.
like the opportunity for drum lessons at school came up, I was like, "Mum, can I? I'm not very good at the piano. Can I just play the drums instead?" So for a while, I did both, and then eventually I phased the piano out.
Maybe she was worried that if you learned the guitar that you would turn into some like, I don't know, Sid Vicious like rebel person.
Maybe all of a sudden you'd be screaming like, like that, that like heavy metal, like that, like crazy, She's like, we can't have that in the household. How do you guys come together with your music?
Emma does most of it.
Oh, really? She's the writer?
Yeah,
The writer singer?
Emma's the writer.
It comes from my dark brain.
Really?
So like normally if I'm so it kind of depends. on like the circumstance. So like if something really crap has happened, then that will often like result in a splurge of songs. But often like motion makes me, I think it's something about like the repetitive beat. So if I'm like walking or if I'm driving, I'll often get like a kind of like a bass line in my head.
Okay.
I need to write on my own. So like if anyone is around, like no writing happens.
Okay.
And then I tend to kind of create the song, whatever it is, and then once I've kind of worked it through in my head, I've got a friend that I sometimes work with on like structure, or if I'm like I'm not quite sure on this chord, I want to slightly tweak it, that kind of thing. And then Tom and I will then work on it in the studio, and then that's when we'll kind of have more of a conversation about the structure together, because Tom is very good at being honest but not being horrible at the same time.
Right.
So if he's not so keen on it, he'll go, "You've got a phrase, I forgot what it is," but you'll sort of say, "I'm not too keen on that bit."
Is that what you say, babe?
Yeah, it's something I can't quite remember exactly how I phrase it either, but it's something polite but constructive.
Polite, but just like, let's remove this.
We sort of collaborate, but a lot of the content and the like the chords and the lyrics and stuff like that comes from my dark brain.
So
basically.
before Tom, were you just solo?
So I was kind of solo, then I was in bands, and I was in one band that did really well, and then we were kind of like on the precipice of making it, and then for various reasons it went wrong. And then I was in another band, and then we were doing really well and we were getting interest, and then that went wrong. I think I found that whole process of kind of being in a band and like making a name for yourself and getting yourself out there, and then it kind of falling apart. Like it's really upsetting, it's like when a relationship ends and then you kind of have to start all over again. So us kind of going under my name is almost because I was like, well, ideally I'm not going to lose my name, so that's just it. We're not going to have to kind of start again.
Are your songs about your life, your experiences?
They're kind of my way of being honest, and I think I find it really hard being like completely emotionally honest in the real world. And I think not to the point where I'm like a massive liar or anything, but I almost feel like I think in Britain we often like struggle talking about like how we feel about things, and so like for me it's often how I can kind of get a feeling out or an emotion out or a kind of a question, and it's sort of a way of being honest. So like one of our songs called Window is about kind of that idea that a lot of people sort of you kind of fake it till you make it, and that we all might look like we know what we're doing and that we're kind of doing an okay job and that we're surviving and being successful, but actually under the surface everyone is like paddling like a frantic swan, that things aren't always what they seem. And that's something that I feel a lot, that I present as one way when actually inwardly I might be feeling like I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. So I guess it's how I get my vulnerability out as well, but and that's why when I first write a song I need it to be kind of that it's just me, because I feel really vulnerable doing it. Yeah, so the EP is called Here I Go, and then there's 4 tracks on it, which it's kind of a follow-on from an EP that we did before called Sunblood, and some of the songs are kind of about this. I kind of wanted to create this sort of character that meant that I could write songs that were really dark and that had elements of truth to them, but that actually it's kind of all through the guise of this woman that lives in like the 1950s in Mexico kind of thing. But it's a way of creating these songs about her partner who turns out to be a murderer. I don't think my husband is a murderer. I haven't checked, but I think it's
He's
And
gonna watch this and be like,
yeah, what?
talk
He's
about
pretending
something.
to have a knife over me now.
As soon as you want to go be alone, he'll like come out of nowhere and open the door and be
Yeah,
like, do
some
you
hands.
want to be alone?
But I think because I'm like so massively influenced by like David Lynch that I don't really live the life of a David Lynch character. I was like, I'm just gonna need to kind of make one up. And I love like vintage music and and that kind of like surf rock sound. So I think I basically channeled my inner David Bowie and created a character that I could kind of write songs for.
Do you
But
have
it
a
also
name for
meant,
the character?
sorry,
Do you have a name?
she's called Yolanda.
Yolanda. Okay.
Yolanda, and actually it meant that I could still talk about my own feelings and get my own issues out, but the clarity of what is Emma and what is Yolanda, you know, it's kind of muddied. So in a way, I was kind of able to get my feelings out without worrying about offending anybody.
Right.
Because I've written songs in the
like your
past.
therapy.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. There is an element of that, and I've written songs in the past that have been a little bit too obvious, and I've had people go, "Is that song about me?" And then you're like,
yeah. Like, tell me, like, who would that be about? Or we can't talk about that right now because they're gonna watch this and be like, I knew that song was about me.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Why don't you tell me that? Oh my God.
I mean,
Don, do you know about all this? Do you know everything that's going on with Emma and Yolanda?
I think a lot of it is locked away in Emma's mind.
No, I'm just saying, but are you aware of what everything she's saying, or is this new to you?
No, I'm aware of everything she's saying. I know Yolanda, the character, and
You
the whole
never call her
story.
Yolanda? Like, yo, is this Yolanda right now? Who's playing?
Is this Yolanda talking?
Is this
Or is
Yolanda?
it or is Emma here? Is Yolanda in the
like, don't tell me you're a Gemini.
I am a Gemini.
Get away from me right now. Why did I feel that right now? Are you a Gemini?
Yeah. 4th of June.
You're shocked. Look at your face, my friend. You can't believe that. I'm not psychic. I feed off the energy. I can feel it. Do you understand? There's something. I can't explain it, but it's there. Yeah. That's great. Okay, so you're a Gemini. Okay, that's awesome. So I think I just shocked myself. I'm like, I'm feeling something over here. Yeah, I'm a Leo.
Oh.
Yes.
You can kind of tell. Are you an August Leo? No, you're a July Leo.
I'm an August Leo.
You are August? Okay, I'm July. Are you?
Is there a difference?
Yes.
Yeah.
August Leos are a little bit more aggressive than July Leos.
Oh, okay.
And what do I mean by aggressive? Not physically aggressive, just very more yes, no, like it's more just like less bullshit type thing. You understand what I'm saying?
I weirdly, I do think I know what you're saying. You've made your mind up already, and it's like decisions are more clear cut.
This is what I like. This is what it is. If you're my best friend, I will take care of you. I will be loyal to you. Do not strike me because the ugly will come out. That's you, Tom. I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice person. I'm genuine. I mean everything I say. But don't get it twisted. There's an ugly side to me, but why bring it out, right?
There's no need to bring it out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Do you know when, Pamela, I first saw that side to him?
Tell me.
It was when we had an argument.
You had an argument about?
When we were recording, we had a...
What was the argument about?
An eventful weekend where the toilet in the studio, Was that a different weekend when the toilet exploded?
I think that was a different weekend when
What
the toilet
happened in
exploded.
the toilet, babe? What happened? Tell me about the toilet, baby. What happened? What
Yeah.
happened? With
Uh,
it? Tell me.
that
You're
was
this
the
is your
weekend
first
where
argument, right?
this wasn't the weekend of the argument. This was the week
Okay.
we were laying down the drums for most of the tracks on our last EP. And I think I was putting the drums to one of the last tracks, and then we noticed water seeping through through the carpet from there's like a door to the toilet just behind where I'm sat playing the drums.
Uh-huh.
And then I was like, guys, I think there might be a problem. And there was some blockage, and it wasn't ending. There was like a tide of toilet water just coming through this door, and we were really worried that all this expensive equipment was going to get ruined because of the water seeping in. I don't know what caused it, but
How did it
we didn't
smell?
have anything to like unblock it.
It smelled.
Apart from a bin bag that I put my hand in and then like unblock the toilet.
Oh
That was
my
a very pleasant
God,
experience.
no.
Well,
He was amazing. He
the
just
important thing to know was I was the hero that day.
Just to let you know, Tom to the rescue.
Or MS says anything.
Oh,
I mean, I feel that you should have sound effects. But so Tom is an archaeologist as well, so he's used to kind of putting his hand in the mud, but not in the other kind of mud. So yeah,
not in people.
well done. Not people mud. I absolutely. I've got a thing about accents.
yeah.
And I love a New York accent.
Do it. It's all. You could take this. You could do a New York accent. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, you might throw things at me from.
No, I will never throw anything at you. I'm gonna love you from a distance. Are you kidding me? Go ahead, do it. Do it.
Like a Muppet. So what do? I go, coffee is for the letter C. So like that is the that is the extent. Yeah.
Do I sound like that? Do I sound like that?
I thought I heard you do that before.
Put some more mozzarella on that.
Yeah, I want mozzarella on my pizza. So yes.
Do you ever have like stage fright? You guys ever get scared? You get nervous when you sing in front of a crowd or play?
Yeah.
Right.
And it got much worse since lockdown because we kind of got out of a pattern. Yeah, it's now much worse, and it's really annoying actually because like for the week before I'm like,
really,
you know, and then it's normally fine, and people are like, oh my God, you'd never know. And once you get
do
going,
to calm your nerves and excitement.
what do? I basically have a word with myself.
Okay.
And breathe.
Okay.
Just try and breathe and like chill out.
See, no, I get it. And Tom, like, you too, or no? You guys do it together?
No, not nearly as bad. I get nervous and excited, but not nearly to the same amount. I mean, Emma won't even eat probably the entire day of the gig, like on the lead up.
Oh my God.
Too nervous to like eat, but no, I'm a lot less nervous.
You're like holding a sandwich when you play. Emma's just mad because she hasn't eaten all day. You're like, da-da-da. You guys have a certain website or an agent or, you know, another outlet other than just social media?
Oxford's, because we're both sort of based around Oxford, it's got like a really strong music scene, and there's a magazine called Night Shift that's been really supportive of us. So like that's kind of one of the ways that you can kind of promote your work kind of on a local level.
Mm-hmm.
And then
it's something that you send in your EPs to and they review it, or they'd go and watch your gigs and they review the gigs, and then it's like a magazine that's distributed for free throughout Oxfordshire.
Okay.
So it's got like a really big audience, and yeah, they've been really supportive of us, as have, I mean, there are loads of really nice kind people on the Oxford music scene.
Okay. So you guys,
Yeah.
because of the pandemic, it's only just been basically Britain.
Yeah, I mean, well, but having said that, like I've used sort of like other platforms to kind of get our music out to. So like we've been played in like Brazil and Spain and Portugal,
Oh,
Mexico. So like but it's weird because you kind of don't like see it. Like so we've been reviewed and we've been added to like playlists all around the world and things like that, which is brilliant. But
right.
I think we've not been able to like play abroad yet. You kind of you just don't know how well received the music is, but obviously people like it because they're kind of adding it to their own platforms and things like that,
Yeah,
abroad.
people like it, love it. That's what I wanted to say, that Maria, the producer, is such a huge fan. That's why she was saying, you guys really remind her, especially you, Emma, PJ Harvey. It's like, it's incredible. I mean, you just rock out and you have that flow and you have that rock and roll. It's the same. I don't know if you compare yourself to that. I know you just said about, a little bit of David Bowie, which is like one of my favorites. Obviously, he's incredible. But who do you compare yourself to?
I mean, I'm always eternally grateful for a comparison to PJ Harvey. And she's like definitely been like really influential on the kind of sound that I love. I mean, Anna Calvi is amazing. I don't know if you've come across her yet. But she is like there's probably a lot of similarities between the two of us. She kind of has a really sort of dark gothy kind of tremolo reverby kind of guitar style. She is an amazing guitarist as well, and her music is quite sort of operatic to a degree. Like she loves Maria Callas, and that comes out in her singing.
I know you know Maria Callas. I know. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I'm so sorry, guys.
You're very popular.
How come you guys don't add more instruments? Like, do you want to add people to your band, or are you guys just good with the two-piece band, or maybe you're gonna play the clarinet? Who knows? Right? You never know, babe. You might pick it up and add to the clarinet. You never know. No.
I think that's something we haven't got around to yet. But I think we did try a synth / bass player. Had tryouts for that, but that didn't go so well.
Really? Is it because of
I think it's
that,
something
or
we'll
just
be
gonna
open.
adapt to your music?
I think it didn't adapt to our music.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Too jazzy.
Yeah, too jazzy.
It was
and
okay.
like there's I think the other thing as well is like because we do work so well together. I think part of me has that concern of like someone else coming into the mix, and then it's kind of more
throws off the whole vibe, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I do love a synth, and sometimes I think, oh, it'd be really nice to have a synth or like a little bit of bass. And so like if we were ever offered a gig at like Glastonbury Festival, please, world. And I think we started doing like bigger stages. I think then we probably would think about having someone like maybe do some extra bits and bobs.
We're sending wings to what you said. We're gonna send it to the energy. This is wings, right? You know that. We're sending it. We're gonna send it what you say to the universe, and so hopefully, yes, you get there. I don't know where you really want to be, but definitely wherever you want to be, and you will answer that question next. I hope that you get there soon.
Thank you.
What's the biggest crowd you guys played for? Even though you haven't really had a chance, but now that you're kind of back out there again, like 100 people?
I think we played one of the big venues in Oxford, and I think we had maybe 150, 200 people in there.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
right.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, it was amazing that night. Great.
I already know. Tell me your guys' goal. Where do you guys want to be? What do you guys want to do? What's your ultimate?
I think if we were in a position to kind of do the music full time, and not be financially impoverished,
Right.
you know, that would be the aim. Like it would be amazing to kind of break through to like the, you know, the festival circuit and like a, you know, larger venues, and to just sort of keep developing our fan base and kind of, you know, just keep getting bigger really. But it would be amazing to kind of play at some sort of bigger festivals and get the word out there a bit more. That would be the aim.
Well, who's the number one person that you just love to maybe collaborate with? Emma, you can answer, and Tom, you can answer too.
Tom, you can go first.
Oh no, don't put me in it. Number one person to collaborate with.
No, you don't have like that favorite artist that you just have always said, man, I wish we could write or we could play, or, you know, just, you know, like how an author would just love to know another author, or, you know, an actor would love to be in a same movie with a film with another actor, or, you know, a comedian would love to work with this comedian. Do you have somebody that you would just love to just collaborate with, regardless if that's just writing or playing or anything?
How good would it be to work with like Dave Gilmour?
Who?
From Pink Floyd.
Man,
Yeah,
are you kidding me?
But
One of the greatest bands ever.
he is so talented. And I love Pink Floyd. I'm a massive fan.
Oh my God.
Is it?
Maria should be listening right now. You guys could talk all day and all night about Pink Floyd.
Yeah, and I assure you. I think I'm like a drummer to drum whatever.
That band is storytellers. I don't know if anybody knows, but their music, it's literally one story after another. It's incredible. And that's back in the day. So it's like Queen. Something that it's just never been created.
Absolutely timeless, isn't it?
It's incredible.
Both of them.
Emma, it's your turn, babe.
So, I mean, in a magical world,
yes.
If I could bring David Bowie back from the dead, that would be great.
It would be David.
In real life, so Imogen Heap is an amazing loop artist. So I would love to kind of do some sort of like, she uses these gloves and like so all of her loops are kind of gesture controlled. So I'd love to work with her, but I'm going to be really naughty, and I would love to also work with Anna Calvi, who's done. And I cheated. Did you like how I cheated?
I tried to cheat.
I love it. You have no idea how much I love your guys's flow. I love it. It's a whole different, I can't explain it. It's awesome. I love it. I wish I was there right now with you guys. Where's your career heading?
I mean, well, hopefully we'll do, we're just in the middle of doing our next EP. Okay. And then I think after that, then we'll do an album.
Another album.
Yeah, well, we've tried to sort of just do like EPs so far. So they're like sort of, you know, 4 tracks. So yeah, we've got our next single is coming out hopefully next month. We've just been working on the video for that.
Okay.
And that's the single called "Love Is Not a Choice." And yeah, so we're hoping that will be new and exciting, and it's got a really like Latin beat to it, but a really positive message.
Got bongos on it, hasn't it, Emma?
It has got bongos.
I was gonna say, if you have a Latin beat.
Yeah.
It does have quite a funky Latin beat, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
That was the argument. Emma didn't want the bongos on it, and I did. And that was the August Leo in me.
Oh my God! So this was your guys' first argument?
Yeah. I think it genuinely was our first argument in the studio, and I think I hadn't been to the previous session, And I turned up and we were listening to the track and I was like, oh, Emma, I can't hear any bongos on it. There were bongos on the last time I heard this song. And Emma was like, looking really sheepish, going, yeah, about that. I wasn't meaning to tell you. And then I was like, Emma, these bongos. They sounded really good. And basically, yeah, I made them put bongos back on, just quietly.
Do you guys have a third party? Like, if you guys do come from if you guys come to a disagreement, do you have like a third opinion where it's like, listen, I just want you to know, like, do you guys have an agent or a manager or anything where there's another input, so that way then it just somebody that would just make it all make sense?
No, I think we don't have an agent or a manager. I think the person that comes closest to that would be Jimmy, who produces he's done our last 2 EPs, right? Jimmy. Yeah, he's recorded our songs for us in the studio.
And
he's like an engineer.
Yeah, so he's an producer, but he to be fair, he was the one that said that all the bongos should come off, and I said that maybe some of the bongos should stay, just to say.
Can't blame him. Can't blame him.
But
he's not here.
Tom, I know. I told her to be honest on the show. I just want you to know that. And we don't need to argue right now about what you just said, but listen, if that's the truth, now you know.
At the moment it kind of works because we've got that control of what we do and what we don't do. And I think creatively as well, it's sort of really important to us that we have got that control over, the music that we're making. If we don't like it, what's the point?
Then you're not going to play, babe. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want somebody to come in and change you. Then it's like you're just like a face, which is what a lot of artists really go through, to be honest. They're beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, you just look good. So yeah, you're not doing that. You're going to do this because this is how we're going to make a lot of money. And that's all they care about.
Mm.
They don't care about your passion or your desire. But I will say,
we don't want to lose that.
Huh?
We don't want to lose that. We don't want to lose that, and we don't want to lose our sort of our identity. And I think what also we're very good at is when we ever do disagree with something, we know that. Well, we never really take each other that seriously anyway, but we know that not to get offended by the other one because it's not said in any sort of malicious way, and we just both want the songs to sound the best that we think they can. It
doesn't make sense to go and find somebody or get signed on with somebody and then they completely change you. Don't ever do that. I don't know.
No.
You're too much of a Leo anyway to allow that. I see you.
You know it.
And plus, I don't know how aggressive Yolanda is. You know what I mean? So Yolanda got another, Emma got the other side. Yolanda might come in and do like a spin kick roundhouse. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You don't know. So everything's possible. You know what I mean?
Maybe that's the next part of the story.
Right. That's gonna be your next song. Yeah. Don't worry. Don't try to change me. You get this roundhouse.
It's funny because I feel like I kind of reach a point where I'm done with her story and the story is done, and then I write another song and I go, oh no, I'm not finished with her yet. So like there's part of me that clearly just can't let it go.
Right.
I think she'll kind of stick around. I think that Yolanda is kind of here to stay now.
Oh no, she's not going anywhere. Are you kidding me? She's the reason why you write. She's your writer.
Yeah, I think she is in some ways. Yeah, definitely. There's on this EP. I can't talk.
Okay. Show them, baby. Show them.
So yeah, two of
sexy record over there.
So two of the tracks, Here I Go and Nightingale, are basically kind of her songs, and then Treacle Well and Window are my songs, and I think that's basically how I write now.
So how do we get a hold of that? Is that on iTunes or Spotify or
available on? You can purchase this on Bandcamp, which is very exciting, and
iTunes and on Spotify.
And on Spotify.
Okay.
Spotify are a bit evil now, aren't they? But yes, it's on all the platforms, and you can also watch our very exciting videos on our YouTube channel. If you look for Emma Hunter Music on YouTube,
Yeah.
then you'll see videos of like things like that. And like there's like
Me drowning Emma in a swimming pool.
I get like he drowns me. Like we put but I've got a bit of a performing arts background, and so I like the music videos have to be like little mini films.
I love that.
You know, we put a lot of effort into them. And our next music video, we reshot some bits because we were like, oh, that's not quite right. If I'd had my time again, maybe I would have like gone to film school or something like that, because I'm probably a bit of a frustrated director, I think. But the singing was just something I just couldn't leave alone. And so that ended up being the thing that I kind of pursued. If I don't sing, I just don't feel like I'm myself. It's sort of something I need to do, really.
Okay. What would you say to anybody that was up and coming today? You have any advice for them?
Tom, do you have any advice?
Do I have any sage wisdom? If you're like nervous or scared, apprehensive about performing to a bunch of people, especially if it's your own material, I think the best thing to do is just to get out there and do it. And I think once you've done that, you realise that people are quite forgiving in the audience. They might absolutely love your stuff, and the buzz you get from performing is like nothing you probably would have felt. And I think being nervous or scared about it is not a reason not to do it. You just need to go out there and do it. I
agree.
And I've recently just watched all of the most recent season of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Which is amazing. I love it.
It's amazing. Go on.
So good. And the message of that is, if you're going to fail, at least, like, if you're going to fail at performing, at least fail in front of an audience, you know? Like, don't not do it. Like, just try it. And then if it all goes wrong, never mind. And I was like, yeah, actually, that's kind of true. Because you're only going to kind of learn your craft by doing it.
Right. You'll get better then.
Yeah. Yeah. So that I think that's very good advice, Tom, that it is about you've got to be in it to win it. And also, like, it is about carrying on and trying to kind of create what you like yourself. If you don't like it, then do stuff that you do like. Don't do it just to please someone else.
Thank you guys so much for coming on. You have no idea how much this means to us. I mean, it's not easy, and you guys are beautiful people, and that's what we always want on the show. And I repeat that to everyone, and I will never stop, because all I want is just good energy, good vibes, and good times. And like, I just want to put that out there. So hopefully somebody sees you or you see them, and maybe you can work together. Maybe you guys, even from a distance, people are working from home these days. So you never really know. You might like somebody's beat. You might like somebody's vision. I don't know. Somebody might like you. You never know.
Thank you so much for finding us and for having us on. We really, really appreciate it.
No, yeah.
Hopefully we can come to New York and you can come and see us live.
Yeah, that's the goal. I'm telling you, we're going to get there.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.